suggests that whatever you need, he is. And the I am suggests that he can be that right now and tomorrow if you need it. Lord have mercy. Jesus can be the I am yesterday. He can be the I am today. And he is the I am tomorrow. Whatever you need, he can be all that and more. If you need healing, he is. If you need deliverance, he is. If you need bread, he is. If you need water, he is. If you need a miracle, he is. If you need money, he is. He's everything you need. He's everything that you need. And so Jesus says, I am, watch this, I am the true vine. And so as a result, as a consequence, everybody that's connected to me can reap benefits as a result of their connection. Are you here? I'm hooked up to Jesus. And so if I'm hooked up to Jesus, and my wife is hooked up to me, and my children are hooked up to her, Lord have mercy, then everybody in the household is blessed because I'm hooked up to okay. Can we bring the new providence? If your pastor is hooked up to Jesus, and the brothers are hooked up to the pastor, and the converts are hooked up to the brothers, and the ushers are hooked up to the brothers, and the choir members are hooked up to the brothers, and the choir sisters are hooked up to the children, everybody in the church is blessed. So don't think that you're sitting beside somebody just to be sitting next to them. Lord have mercy. Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they went through on last week. So never bypass the opportunity to ask your neighbor, are you hooked up? Well, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to give you 2 points. I cut across the fences when I give you 2 points. Watch this. The first thing this text is tailored to teach us this morning is that profession does not symbolize possession. Preach, Pastor Dawson. I said profession does not symbolize possession.
All right.
In other words, I can say a whole lot of stuff with my mouth, but that does not mean it's in my heart. Remember what we talked about last week? There's a difference between saying thank you and giving thanks. Because I say with my mouth, but I give with my heart. And so we talk a good game. We talk a good game until game day. And just because we wear the same jersey does not mean we're on the same team. So, the profession is that I believe who Jesus is.
Yeah.
And I believe that he is the reason that I am who I am.
Yeah.
That sounds good. But my actions, Lord have mercy, suggest that I really don't believe in what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Are you in here?
Yeah.
Hence, there's a difference between a person being plugged in and turned on.
Yeah. All right.
Y'all hear what I just said? Now, I gave y'all a preview about this a couple of Sundays ago. Y'all was with me. A lot of us are plugged in,
All right.
but we've never been turned on. None of these lights will work to my knowledge unless the light switch is flipped. The only way I can receive or be a recipient of the benefits of the light that shines is that somebody has to go to the wall. That's volition. Somebody has to willingly go to the wall and turn the switch on.
Yeah.
Are you in here? And that's where we are this morning, New Providence, because there are some folk in the church, they've been plugged in for 50 years, but they never had their switch turned. And it's your job, you who are spiritual, to ease up beside somebody and ask them, since you plugged in, have you been turned on? Because we talk real good. Are you in here? We talk good, but there's a difference in our actions. So, there is a difference between knowing him and making him known. We know him, but do you make him known? There's a show that comes on TV, on A&E, Channel 23 if you have Comcast. And it's called Hoarders. You ever seen that? Hoarders is perhaps one of the most nauseating shows you could ever watch on television. Because one would have to contend, why is it that a person could live in such drastic conditions? But when you look at the show, there's some lessons that you can learn and that perhaps you can even apply in your own spiritual life. Brothers and sisters, when Hoarders came on, the show depicts people who are comfortable living in a situation, so much so that they feel as though the more they get, the more they have to keep. In other words, nobody on the outside is privy to whatever they have on the inside. They're not willing to give anything up. Yet they take everything. I mean, they sit down on it, they eat on it. Come on, talk back to me. And if anybody comes in to take what they have, they become agitated and combative. Isn't it just like church folk? Lord have mercy. Because you can quote a couple of good scriptures, they're just good for you and not good for nobody. Come on, talk back to me. When God saved you, God didn't just save you just to save you. He saved you to get somebody on a back row saved. He saved you to tell somebody about a man named somebody else outside of yourself. And that's why the good song of old says, I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell everybody about somebody who can say, who is the nobody? I'm just a nobody. Yeah. Look at your lips and say, how do you see yourself? I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell everybody about somebody who can say, how do you know he can save anybody? You're looking at a miracle. Because if God can save me, surely he can save you. So watch this. Profession does not symbolize position. But secondly, contact does not signify connection. Hear what I just said? Contact does not signify connection. Just because you have a good spark doesn't mean it can hold life. Are you with him? Some of us, all we do is spark. There's no continuance to what we're doing. And so as a consequence, we feel like if we just come to church 2 or 3 times out of the month, we're doing God a favor. Are you with him? And so, if you do know when you come on first Sunday, you know that reigns supreme. You know, come on first Sunday, you got your white on, you're looking real good, looking real churchy. Don't see you second Sunday, third Sunday, you show up on casual Sunday, looking real good. Watch this. And so you spark on the first Sunday, but you're dead second and third. You come to church 4th Sunday and you spark a little bit. Lord have mercy. And all God wants you to know is, guess what? In order for you to receive and to be the recipient of the full benefits of being with me, is that you have to stay in me. Abide in me, and I will abide in you. So a spark will get you some temporary attention. Goes out as quick as you light it up. 4th of July is real good because of the fireworks. All right. But guess what? The fireworks don't last forever. B.B. King said the thrill is gone. So everybody, far and wide, you pull up on the side of the freeway just to see fireworks. And when they're gone, you go about your business. Because fireworks don't last always. Lord, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. He says, listen, he says, you have to understand that there's a difference between contact and connection. Contact and watch this, watch this. Look at verse number 2. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Watch out, freak.
Y'all see that? Watch this. Watch this. There's a word that we use there called pruning.
Yeah.
Pruning. It's a Greek word, thauros. Simply means to clean or to trim. Pastor Dawson, you see Pastor Dawson, he never shaves. Got a problem. Pastor Dawson, you might want to clean yourself up a little bit. Talk back to me if you can. Okay, sisters. You do know what they call those things, split ends. You know what split ends are? So you go to the beauty shop, you have your beautician take care of your talk back to me if you can. Of those split ends. Well, that's how it is spiritually. And God has to prune me. God has to give me a haircut. God has to make me presentable. Just like the garden, if you will, has to go out. And amongst all of the beautiful flowers, there are some weeds that are in the garden. So God has to get out, put his hard hat, his boots on, put his hands to work, and move away what does not belong. Are you in here? And that's exactly what God will do for you. There are some things in our life that God has to move out of our life that does not belong. Waywardness, it just don't belong. Bad attitudes, it just don't belong. Don't know how to treat folk, it just don't belong. Don't know how to love my neighbor, it just do not belong. God, in his infinite wisdom and master understanding, has to step out to the garden. He has to move some things so that the better us can shine.